Welcome to Cops Uncut, the show that puts you in the driving seat of America's fight against crime and gets you up close and personal with the mad, bad and dangerous to know that roam America's highways. Coming up on this edition of Cops Uncut, a speeding driver comes up against a house and loses. A runaway minivan tries to take his house with him. And one fugitive wishes he hadn't left the house. Dallas, Texas, and a routine traffic stop. Or not. This is the morning rush hour after all. This guy will clearly do anything to get to work on time. Within seconds, the suspect is out of sight. And when he veers onto a busy freeway, he almost disappears in the traffic, putting a whole lot of motorists at risk. This guy's dedication to timekeeping is exemplary. He seems determined to use every part of the road, including the shoulder, to outrun the cops and clock in on time. If he keeps this up, he's going to win Employee of the Month. Bad news. That excursion has just given him a puncture. Next comes the smoke. That's never good. And there goes his tyre. Incredibly, this Worker of the Year keeps going as fast as his 3 tyres and a smoking wheel rim will carry him. In a bid to get to his desk on time, he tries a new technique, kicking up gravel at the pursuing officers. But sticks and stones aren't going to stop these troopers. Becoming ever more desperate, he hurtles between passing motorists, cuts red lights, and puts the pursuing officers in severe danger. But there's only so far you can go when your car is handling like a drunken accounts manager at the Christmas party.
Turned over. Turned over.
Let's hope his morning cup of coffee had a lid on it. And he doesn't have any more luck walking to work. Not stopping for the police is more common than you think. This truck in New Philadelphia, Ohio, has just been spotted heading the wrong way down a one-way street. After clocking his license plates, the police officer politely switches on his lights. That means pull over. But this driver is not the obedient type. He floors it and heads out onto some dark country roads.
We're still on 416. We haven't come up to 256 yet.
He reaches speeds of 110 miles an hour. Too fast for the cops in pursuit, who decide to take things easy at a mere 90.
I'm falling back. I'm at 90. He's still pulling away.
At these speeds, at this time of night, there is no point in both cars driving at such suicidal pace.
We're past 259 now. He's going towards Tusky. I'm still maintaining about 90 miles an hour.
After 8 miles of pursuit, the driver reaches the outskirts of Tuscarawas, and that's where he hits a problem. Or, more precisely, he hits someone's house.
Looks like he crashed into a house here at 913.
But there's only so far you can go. A crash like this is like a casino. The house always wins.
Let me see your hands! Let me see your hands! Take your left hand open the driver's door now. Do it slowly.
He's also managed to damage a gas meter, which is now leaking.
Now lay on the ground! Get on the ground!
So now is most definitely not the time to calm the nerves with a cigarette.
Put your hands behind your back. Stand by.
After whining about the handcuffs being too tight, this kamikaze driver explains his thinking.
Why don't you just pull over, man?
Probably should have.
Why didn't you?
Sir,
All I was pulling you over for was going the wrong way on a one-way alley. That's it.
I've been drinking.
So? It's a heck of a lot better than
Wrecking
wrecking in some guy's truck and having felony fleeing on your record, isn't it?
It's a felony?
Yeah.
Yes, fleeing a police officer at 110 miles per hour, paying no heed to the rules of the road, endangering other drivers, and crashing into someone's house is more serious than making a wrong turn on a one-way street. Who knew? Let's just hope this guy doesn't end up under house arrest. If watching a speeding driver crashing into your house is surprising, how about nearly getting killed by a runaway tyre? This Houston, Texas officer has stopped behind a motorist changing a flat tyre on the busy Baytown Bridge. So far, so routine.
Got a nail or something? Right there. Get it?
But where's the spare tyre? Let's see that again. The wheel had escaped from this 17-wheeler that passed by seconds before. The officer had casually moved out of its direct path in the nick of time and suffered only a minor graze. The tyre weighed 200 pounds and was travelling at 60 miles an hour. If it had hit the officer, he would have almost certainly been killed. The truck never stopped. Some police pursuits are high-speed thrill rides. Some are incredibly dangerous. And then some are just plain weird. Welcome to Stanton, Michigan, where police are chasing a suspect who has just burst out of his garage in his RV, attempting to elude them. Unfortunately for him, the garage doors have stuck to his windscreen. Never the speediest getaway vehicle in the first place, he's now doubly impaired by not being able to see where he's going. And when he does glimpse a patrol car through the cracks of his garage door, instead of veering away like you might expect, he rams it instead. The odds of this guy giving 6 police patrol cars the slip, you would think, are slim. After all, he can't even evade his own garage. Even in the unlikely event he's able to outrun the police, you've got to think someone is going to spot a motorhome with a garage door attached to it, even in rural Michigan. But he tries his best, taking evasive action and once again ramming the troopers. He even tries to make a break for it, but he's as aerodynamic as a brick. Even when he does give the cops the slip, it's not for long, and this whole embarrassing episode is brought to a close. And the real bad news? While this was going on, his neighbours were looting his garage. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, unless it's captured on CCTV. Yes, this is a naked guy intending to steal a bus.
Catch you! No! Get away from me! Get away! Back here now! Get away! Get back! Get away! Get away! Back!
In fact, this is a naked guy succeeding in stealing a bus. It's easy to see this guy's nuts. But this gentleman doesn't get very far before the police turn up. Thankfully, they have the presence of mind to stop the bus before it ploughs into a nearby casino. Police stated the gentleman may have been on drugs during the episode. You think? The thing about high-speed pursuits is that you need to pay attention to what you're doing, because not everyone on the road is as good a driver as you are, which is exactly what these Kansas City, Missouri officers recently discovered. There they go, happily responding to a call one evening. Siren on and lights flashing, you really can't miss them. The streets are quiet, and they have plenty of time to talk about the ball game.
3 weeks into the 2010 season.
Enjoy a joke.
You guys did
Or two. Or three. When, out of the blue, they're broadsided by the only other car on the road. A woman who's had too much to drink and was driving while suspended. As it turns out, she really couldn't miss them. Both officers were hurt, one seriously. He had to be cut out of the mangled vehicle before being taken to hospital, where he made a full recovery. The young woman was taken into custody. If a suspect is just refusing to stop, then sometimes the best solution is to force them off the road. This is known as pitting, and like a game of Russian roulette, it's very dangerous and doesn't always go to plan. These officers in Lake Mary, Florida, are preparing to pit a suspect before he can get onto the motorway. That's him there. He thinks he's evaded this officer, but he's soon ambushed by a second lying in wait. The second officer approaches the back end of his car, and here comes the pit. Perfect. Well, nearly. The driver manages to veer between two approaching officers. He pushes his way between speeding traffic and onto the freeway. Holy pit.
He's back on 400, Larry. Back on 400, going eastbound.
So it's not always perfect, but the effect of this bump is to shred this guy's tyres.
10-4.
It doesn't take the police long to catch up with him. The art of the perfect pit requires perfect timing and just the right judgment of the force needed to nudge the suspect into a spin. In Port Wentworth, Georgia, cops are in high-speed pursuit of a blue sedan. He's travelling at over 100 miles an hour. But when he slows down on an exit ramp, the police see their chance to move in. Get as close as you can to the back end. A gentle nudge. And that's all it takes. If you can make him spin, you win. Welcome to the peaceful suburbs of Kansas City, where locals have been terrorised by an unusual resident. A 160-pound chimp named Sue. She's very intelligent and uses the available cover to sneak up on the officers called to investigate. But I'm not sure she's very pleased to see them. Get your stinking paws off the car, you damn dirty ape! Her owner said that she was just being playful. Yeah, and King Kong was just a bit perky. Sue's monkeying around is brought to a halt with a tranquilizer and a big cage before she can do any more damage. On any road, anywhere in the world, rain can cause havoc. Down in Jefferson, Georgia, the police are struggling to keep this speeding vehicle in their sights. And if there's one thing worse than a wet road, it's a wet dirt road, as this driver finds out. It's only when the police reach the car they realise just how bad this could have been. This suspect didn't just risk his own and the officers' lives, he risked the lives of 2 young children who could have suffered grievous injuries as the car flipped over. The kids are shaken, but they're all right. And whilst rain is bad, ice is deadly. This interstate in Minnesota has become a graveyard for drivers unable to handle the treacherous ice. Turn into the skid, foot off the brake. Oh, never mind. Who knew cars could also make snow angels? One to the left, and one to the right. Oh wait, maybe this is just a flamboyant attempt at parking. Nice job. When you're too drunk to drive, the responsible alternative is to take the train. At least that way you're guaranteed to make it home in one piece. Or are you? This commuter knows she's supposed to be on one side of the yellow line. But not that side. The drunken woman is spotted by station staff who warn the driver of the approaching train, who pulls the emergency brake just in time. This commuter was seconds away from going home in more than one piece. Every time a cop stops a car, they know things could end badly. This patrolman in Greenwood, South Carolina, is tailing a red Camaro, believed to be being driven by a fugitive who has just fled the scene of a shooting. But he acts like a law-abiding citizen when he stops at a red light. With backup arriving behind him, the patrolman waits for the suspect to make the next move.
When you look out for him as they ask him questions, so you get in the middle of court, they can't miss it, girl, just get him here. What you think? Get him here. What you think?
Another dash cam from the arriving backup car shows the true scope of the unfolding carnage. The gunfight consists of more than 20 rounds in the middle of a busy intersection. Despite the multiple gunshots, the driver is felled by just one bullet. None of the cops or terrified bystanders were injured, though one civilian car and one cop car were damaged by gunfire. 2 patrolmen involved were awarded Medals of Valor. So, what have we learned today on Cops Uncut? If your tyre comes off in the middle of a high-speed chase, it's time to stop. If a naked man tries to board your bus, it's time to go. And if you shoot at cops, you'll end up not being able to move at all.